witch, putting the K in magic. I'm Joanna DeVoe, and you're watching a video about the irony of magic, or how the law of attraction works from the inside out, or seemingly backwards. And I know you're probably tripping out on my eye makeup right now, but I'm kind of going through this funky Laurie Cabot phase, and I love this book. The Witch in Every Woman. This is such a cool, girl powery book about the witch archetype that we all have within. And I kind of had like a prejudice or a judgment on Laurie Cabot because of the way she presents herself with like tons of black eye makeup and almost like a Halloween like garb with this big Elvira hair. And I mean, I really didn't put a lot of thought into it. I wasn't judging her as being a weirdo or a bad person in any way, but I just didn't give her much thought. But I love Christopher Pinsack, and I've learned a ton from him, and I know that Laurie Cabot was his teacher, so curiosity got the best of me, and I bought this book, and I love it. So don't judge a witch by her cover, because you just might be missing out on some good stuff, like The Witch in Every Woman. But what I really want to talk about today, and then I will go back to my normal eye makeup free hippie witch appearance that you've gotten used to, is the irony of magic. And if you listen to my radio show, it's fairly new. I've only done 4 episodes, so if you haven't heard of it yet, go over, follow the link down below, and subscribe. I would love that. It's every Tuesday at 9 a.m. and I talk about how magic with a K meets the law of attraction. And right now it's just 30 minutes long, but it's like super condensed and packed with tons of information. Like last week I talked about the 7 Hermetic principles, and how, or the week before I should say, I talked about the 7 Hermetic principles and how they apply to the law of attraction. And then this past week I talked about the ethics of magic and how guilt and fear and responsibility fit in. And then this upcoming episode, which will be airing tomorrow, I'm talking about the magical magnetic heart chakra and how that is your point of attraction. So if you've been listening, or if you go and listen, you will see that for me, the law of attraction and magic are kind of synonymous. I use them like interchangeably, and when I say magic, I'm really talking about the law of attraction, and the way that it works is kind of ironic. It kind of works in this weird backward way, or at least backward from the way that you would think. So for example, you know, people say seeing is believing, but in magic, believing is seeing. Think about that. The universe just seems to have this really cool sense of humor. So, you know, if you want something into your life, you can't exactly just will it into your life. You kind of have to be it before you can have it. Like attracts like. And let me explain what I mean. If you want to be a billionaire, what you need to do, the trick is to think about why you want that $1 billion. What is it? What feeling do you think that you are going to get by having that money? You know, take some time, write some lists about all the ways you think being a billionaire will make you feel. How will it make you feel? Is it going to make you feel a sense of freedom, a sense of power, a sense of validation? Maybe you think it's going to make people like you more. Whatever it is, write it down on a piece of paper and really keep going until you get to the heart of the matter and what it is, like the essence of what you think it's going to bring you, and then start working that into your everyday life. So for example, if the feeling that you're going for is freedom, start looking for ways that you can create freedom in your everyday life. How can you experience freedom right now with the resources and the time and the life that you have now? And the more that you can create that sense of freedom for yourself, the more money is going to flow to you, and the more that $1 billion is going to get closer and closer and closer. And the irony is you probably won't even care. If you get good enough at creating that sense of freedom, you don't care about the money. It's not the money that's important. What's important is the sense of freedom that you have. And it's just extremely ironic that once you've created that for yourself, magically the money starts to arrive. Love is so much like this. You know, and also, let me go back and say, you know, don't start with $1 billion, because I think for so many of us that seems just absolutely outlandish, and belief is so important. So start with something that is within your belief system. What do you think is possible for you, but just a bit out of range? And then focus on creating those feelings, and then focus on creating that experience for yourself. And then after that experience comes into your life, maybe then sometime in the future you'll be more open to that $1 billion. People have done it. Oprah did it. Maybe you can do it too. I don't know. Having $1 billion isn't my personal goal, but I know, you know, for many of you it might be. So this also works with love. If you have your sights set on a particular person or a certain kind of person, what is it that you think being with that person is going to give you? What kind of feeling do you think that being with that person will create within you? And then set about, after you've answered that question, set about creating that feeling for yourself. And maybe instead of attracting an inappropriate partner for you that you've set your sights on and you bring into your life and then soon realize, hey, that's not really what I wanted after all. Maybe by creating the feeling that you were going after, one, you won't care about, you know, drawing that person to you because you'll just be grooving on that funky feeling you've created for yourself, but also, ironically, you'll end up creating a more appropriate relationship for yourself and attracting a partner that is a match for that sense of whatever that you wanted to create, that sense of freedom, that sense of being appreciated, that sense of being loved, that sense of being of value, whatever you identify as the feeling and you've created for yourself already. And then the irony just goes deeper and deeper and deeper because, like I said, once you've created the feeling, you don't care anymore if you get whatever that thing is. You just don't care. And then funny enough, it finds its way into your life anyway. So I guess at that point the choice is yours if you decide to accept it into your life or if you decide to say, you know, I've moved beyond that. I actually don't need that in my life. I'm good. I'm happy where I'm at. And that is the irony of magic, and that is the spiritual practice of magic. Going beyond these material things, this manifestation madness that so many of us get. You know, when you get into magic, it's like, what can I get? What can I create? What can I do? What can I magically bring into my life? Once you've gotten over that initial rush, I think there's just a beauty in being and getting into the flow of life and just kind of flowing and experiencing more of a feeling state as opposed to the getting. I hope this made sense to you and that you are having a beautiful Monday morning. I will see you again soon without all of the much love. Peace.